Hello YouTube, this is Undead93, and this is the final arc of Digimon. This arc is the Dark Masters arc. This starts right after the Digidestined back to the digital world from the real world. Since Digidestined have been in Japan for I think it's a couple days slash like a week or so, and years have gone by in the digital world, and everything's all distorted, and we get to meet our 4 villains, and our 4 villains are Metal Digimon, Puppetmon, Machinedramon, and Piedmon. Pretty much, they control the whole digital world right now through Spiral Mountain, which is pretty much if you took the forest, the sea, the cities, and I believe it's like anywhere else, like it's covered in darkness, and it's pretty much a giant spiral. It's like continually going up. And the Digidestined try fighting the Dark Masters, and the Dark Masters pretty much hand them their defeat. They also, before they meet the Dark Masters, they meet up with Chumon, which is like a mouse Digimon who met up with Mimi back in the Devimon arc, and we learned that his friend, who's like Shukamon, died when Spiral Mountain was being created. So when Piedmon, or when the Dark Masters had the Digidestined cornered, he's asking who he wants to kill off first, and he's going to try killing off Mimi first, and Chumon gets in the way of Piedmon's sword and gets killed. And Piximon shows up and gets the Digidestined away, while also sacrificing himself. So that's already in one episode. 2 allies dead. So they soon they soon gather everything up, and they're having Matt and Ty having their conflict of, since they're teammates of theirs of wait. No, that's after this. Pretty much, they get into the first domain of the Dark Masters, which is Metal Digimon. He's a pretty good villain. Him compared to all of the rest of his minions, he's really hot-headed and very over-arrogant. He has he has like 4 lackeys, I think. But I don't really count Diver Mountain as lackeys because they don't really do much. His main lackey is Scorpiomon, which is their pretty much who they face. Well, that and a Shellmon, which Shellmon pretty much gets beat. Scorpiomon traps all the Digidestined except Mimi and Joe, and they pretty much defeat Scorpiomon. Metal Digimon's not happy about this. He destroys Scorpiomon for his failure. Scorpiomon had some really weird fixation with clams. That's how he's paid with and distracted with. And then they leave with Waymon, while Metal Digimon's looking for them. And they soon have to come up for air, and Metal Seedramon finds them, and we learned that about War Greymon and his like gauntlets are gauntlets called Draymon Destroyers, which can destroy. It's called Dragonoid or Draymon Digimon, which are like any Digimon with Draymon or like Machine Dramon, Metal Seedramon, and such. Metal Seedramon comes out, attacks Digidestined, kills Waymon, another ally dead. Agumon Digivolves into War Greymon, destroys Metal Seedramon quite brutally though. He pretty much like goes through him and pretty much cuts him like through him and kills him, which was quite brutal. And Metal Seedramon destroyed, and with Metal Seedramon destroyed goes the oceans and causes the oceans disappear. And Mimi sets up some graves, and Ty's like, we have to go destroy the other Dark Masters, and Matt having a conflict with him, saying that we just had allies die. Hey, we have to mourn them. Like, Ty's like, yeah, I know that. They get into a spat. Then we get into the area of the next Dark Master, which is Puppetmon, who gets the most screen time, which I kind of hate because the other Dark Masters I like better. Puppetmon, he kind of messes with the Digidestined in this little forest. He like separates them, teleports them all around the freaking forest. He uses one of his minions called Cherrymon to mess with Matt's head, thinking that Ty is his enemy, which causes a conflict between Metal Gurumon and War Greymon. Also, Puppetmon, he was a pretty good villain. You know, I put him lower than the other three Dark Masters because I didn't really like him that much, but he's quite powerful. Also, in this little sub-arc, you have, wait, let me get to that. Let's see, Puppetmon screws Matt's head. He has a weird fixation with TK and wanting him to be his friend and stuff. And TK just like destroys his little map and toys that he used to screw with the rest of the Digidestined. A lot of his minions like hate Puppetmon's guts, which makes sense because he was like a very weird guy. Some of the Digidestined leave, like Mimi and Joe go off with each other, and you have Matt off by himself because Cherrymon's like messed him up head, and you have with Mimi and Joe, we have Ogremon come back, which was good. I think he was fighting a whole bunch of, I think it's a Woodmon, and he gets kind of beaten, and then we see some old allies, like we see a Gekomon and a Tamamon, and we have Leomon, and we have the returning of everybody's favorite Elvis impersonator, Editmon, but he's now back as Metal Editmon, and we learn his backstory. That's the ones he was sucked into the dark, into this like black hole. He was reconfigured and bam, brought back out as Metal Editmon. Him and Puppetmon have a fight. We also learned that since Leomon was exposed to so much of the Digivices when he was being controlled by Devimon, he's able to devolve into Mega, called Saber Leomon, which is pretty much runs a saber-tooth tiger mixed with Leomon, which looks pretty awesome. Then Zudomon, who has the same, his hammer is made out of the same material as Metal Edamon, destroys Metal Edamon, and Puppetmon goes for the other Digidestined, and Mimi and Joe pretty much like building up like a force, like a side force for pretty much the rest of this arc. Puppetmon catches up to the rest of the Digidestined. Metal Groomon destroys Puppetmon, and we learned that from like a little like cutscene, well not really cutscene, but like through mental image, or well not mental image, but through mental talk, Cherrymon tells him the one thing he needed was friends, and since he didn't have friends, he got defeated. It's kind of awesome. You don't have friends, you're gonna get defeated. So, with Puppetmon destroyed, goes to forest. Matt goes off by himself. Then you have, let's see, you have everybody else leaving the forest since the forest is being destroyed. And we come up to my favorite, Dark Master, which will be in part 2 of the Dark Master's review, because this is getting quite long. Thank you for watching, and